Guys, welcome back
Sweet.
to Laundry in the Basement. If you are here for the feet, you can go ahead and just click off the episode now. I feel like we've given you what you wanted within the first 10 seconds. So,
Yeah, get
you
your
know,
licks in, make your comments,
yeah,
and we'll have a live cam sesh next episode.
yeah.
But we'll wait until the end, so you have to watch all of this first.
Oh man. You guys saw the
I
screenshot I sent to the group last night, right?
No.
That
Yeah,
guy.
pretty wild.
Yeah, so we had our first again another kind member who decided to donate basically to the Patreon by buying a month. But that guy basically he bought his month, watched 2 videos, and then unsubscribed. He got exactly what he wanted. He got the listen, we're not joking when we say we do put Mike's feet without socks behind the paywall. And if you want to
We
see
do.
those, all you have to do is subscribe for a month. And not even a month. That guy subscribed for maybe 25 hours.
Yeah,
He
it
was in
was
and
very
out
brief.
quick. Yeah.
But, we will say that we are entertaining the idea of creating a ghost account for Mike on OnlyFans so that we can
Yeah.
start posting feet pics.
Yeah.
So if that's something that y'all would be
Yeah. And by
got
we definitely mean me, Nick, and Austin, and not Mike. Mike has not been considering this, but we have been considering it for him. So
yeah, there's no consent in this
Yeah,
business model
that's
whatsoever.
yeah. And if that enhances the, kind of the whole makeup for you there, that he's not really willing to do this, should
I think
probably
that's a
should probably
big
log
plus
off.
for
Well,
yeah. I mean, I think that's a big
Listen, we
plus
could
for um
for some people, it
some
might be.
people.
yeah, I think that I would agree.
Oh
I mean,
man.
all of these photos that you see up here, or at least this one that you're seeing right now, was taken in secret, so, a lot more can come out of this. I mean, just look at how dirty those socks are. Like, these are some dirty feet, people. We can get some more pictures of this.
Yeah. I am gonna post something up on the screen here that will
Yeah.
be for our Patreon only subscribers. Again, you have to subscribe to the Patreon to view this next photo. It will be blacked out.
I love the look that you have on your face as you're pulling this up. I'm fully expecting. You know what I'm fully expecting? I'm expecting, like, a photo through the window of Mike's feet that Victor got without Mike even knowing, like, he was posted up outside his house at night.
No, it's the portrait mode photo of the feet.
I can't even see anything yet. Do you have it
Well,
up?
Oh, you're lagging that bad that you can't even see the photos up? Nick, you could see this, right?
unfortunately, yes.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm just seeing it
Okay, now I
now. It's
can't hear
such, like,
anything.
high def, like
And listen, only our Patreon subscribers will be able to see this. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Spotify, if you're watching the free tier on Patreon, you will not be able to see this. So that's all I'm going to say. We're not trying to extort money from you, but if you, if you've liked what you've seen before, I feel like you're going to really like this one.
yeah, we could probably make the argument that, like, we don't even have to reveal that person's identity because it's blurred out in the background there.
Come on, man. I feel like it's pretty easy to see who it is, judging from the first photo.
But you can't say for sure, you know?
Oh
You
man.
can't say for sure.
Also, if you're like very intimately familiar with you know, certain person's set of feet, then you could probably tell just based off rip on that.
Yeah.
PT or any of those LLMs, and you use your voice and it like spins thinking of a response. And so you'll ask it a question and then it'll be like a long pause and it'll go, great, let me get on that for you. And you're like, ah, it's like that kind of like a weird, awkward pause. That's what it was
Yeah,
talking to you guys there
we're
for a
very
minute.
deep thinkers on this podcast. You know, we take a lot of time to
Yeah.
compose ourselves and collect our thoughts before we speak our
Well, the
minds.
internet is
So,
is permanent, you know. We really want to think about what we're saying before we say it, and I think some of our more thoughtful listeners will appreciate that, you know.
mhm, absolutely, yeah. So I guess, you know, we might as well just put it out there and say, I've never regretted a single thing I've said on this podcast, and I've been 100% serious the entire time.
Yeah, I think that
That's right.
that's probably a fair statement to say for sure. I
Yep.
think without looking at any of my prior comments or anything, I could say with confidence that all of those were 100% true. No satire
Yeah,
here
I
needed.
certainly cannot say that. You don't know how squirrely some of the episodes where it was just me and Atticus got. I cannot legally say that. So, you know, for my sake, they are jokes. It is satire.
Mike
I
certainly
certainly,
can't say that. Mike
Mike
can't. I
can't.
mean,
No,
he's
he's
got too much stuff recorded. That some things that we haven't even posted. That
yeah. It is so funny. Like I'll be hanging out with him and I'll remind him of something he's like said. And he's like, I gotta stop doing that. I gotta stop. Like whenever I'm like, oh yeah, man, like everyone just thinks like you're like a Republican, like racist guy. He's like, I really gotta stop. He's like, I gotta change my
Yeah.
ways. And then he'll get on here and be like, yeah, fuck the
Yeah.
Democrats.
He'll
He'll
get on the
say,
pod. The mic will start looking at him like the Green Goblin
yeah,
mask. It'll be like, fuck, like I
I
can't help
have to
it.
say a slur that these guys will edit out. He doesn't do that, by the way. I don't want to, in case
yeah,
any
he
of
doesn't do it.
our
He doesn't do it when we're recording.
yeah, no.
Mm.
I will be honest, when I saw someone subscribe to the $7.50 tier of our Patreon, I was like, oh, we're getting canceled. I was like, it's over. No one would buy this shit if they didn't want to like email my boss. There's literally nothing behind the paywall that's better.
Well, you said it. There's feet. There's feet behind the paywall.
That's literally it. And that ended up being exactly what it was. Which is, you know, no yucking anyone's yum, but that's literally what people have been buying the Patreon for. We have made $12 off people wanting to see Mike's feet. But which I think that's the funnier part is we're not actually making any money off of this. $12 is I think for what some people pay for feet photos, $12 is like incredibly cheap.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, nobody said that this was going to be expensive. We're trying to get viewers, not make money.
Yeah. And it's worked.
We're in
I
it.
mean, we keep getting comments about the feet.
It's funny that this is
We're in
the turn this
variety.
podcast has gone in. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
you know, makes sense.
Yeah.
You gotta go where the demand is, Nick. In this market where we're so saturated with podcasts, if we find a niche, you know, you gotta stick with it. That's like the TikToks
Beggars
that I
can't
see
be
all the
choosers.
time. Exactly. That's like the TikToks that I see all the time where everybody's like, if I won the lottery tomorrow, I would switch up on my day ones. You know, I would start pro elitist, like we got to do the same, you know. We see that we smell that money coming in. We gotta.
hmm Yeah, I've always been I've always thought that foot fetishists, you know, shouldn't have rights. They shouldn't be able to vote, um, or even see the light of day. But you know what? I'm reconsidering my prior stance.
Yeah.
That's good. That's what
Now
this
that I
is
could
all
buy
about.
one Froyo cup I'm going to walk that back. The
right.
podcast money is really changing me.
Think about what you could do with 2 Froyo cups. Just a couple more feet picks, and that's what we would have, boys.
Now that we can collectively put 1 gallon of gas into our cars,
Thanks, Joe Biden.
I think this is well worth it.
I mean, I guess it's well worth it for us. We're not the ones getting our feet put on the internet.
That's a good point.
It's true.
Yeah.
We're just doing the same thing we've always been doing here.
Yeah.
Right.
And exploiting Mike.
Oh, yeah.
For like kind of in a different way. Usually we exploit Mike as kind of the punching bag of our jokes here, but now we're just kind of exploiting him for his body, which I would feel wrong about if I did respect Mike. But
I was gonna
knowing that he won't listen to this, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna make the argument that we're like a tier more respectful. Like at least we're not attacking his insecurities and his emotions. We're going just for like the surface level, physical.
Yeah, that's fair. That makes me feel a lot better about what I just said. You're right.
Yeah.
And with that level of respectability, it's like, would they even want to see our feet? I don't think so.
No. I don't think so either. Yeah, I mean, I think they've made it pretty clear whose feet they want to see. We're just giving the people what they want, and if Mike gets objectified in the process, it's casualties of war.
He loves that shit. I mean, he's a sucker for attention.
Right. Unless your kink is that he doesn't like it, and in that case, he absolutely hates it. He doesn't like that we take photos of his feet.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't like that,
he's a blank canvas. Just ascribe whatever feelings you want to him.
Right.
Whatever gets you going.
In fact, if people could write in what their kinks are, we could tailor different episodes.
I don't want to see the YouTube comments say anything else other than what I've been seeing already. Someone asked if we could talk about a time that we've been wedgied, by the way.
What? Is that like... What?
For some
is
sort
that like
of
a common occurrence? Like that's something that's happened to most people?
Again, I'm not going to yuck anyone's yum, but I do think that is a fetish thing.
Yeah. I feel like, all right, hear me out, right? Like, I feel like we need to pander to this market until we can break through. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have enough money in the bank account to be able to say that we're above, doing the foot fetish stuff. Until we can say maybe afford like 3 or 4 Froyos, like we're in it. We got to grind.
Where we could all have 1 cup each, not have to get 1 cup with 4 spoons. Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, bring it on. Bring it on.
And this is just, this is how every great podcast got started too. They all have to go through this phase. They got to take their lumps.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is,
Right. We're like the equivalent of like the person moving to LA to become an actor, but they got to start out bartending first. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then also maybe do porn too.
And also some OnlyFans work. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it is. Yeah. I mean, kind of, we are following the right path. Like the trajectory is there.
Yeah. Well, I think about it in maybe like 20 years from now, we're going to look back on this moment and say, that's where it all began, baby, right there.
You're saying 20. I can't wait to talk about this at Mike's wedding.
I think for the benefit of our viewers, Mike, as far as anybody else knows, is not in a relationship whatsoever. He's a single 30-foot man, Yeah.
Honestly, if it makes the viewers feel even better, he's AI. He's not even real. So he's kind of like a blank, like Nick said, he's a blank canvas because he's literally, you kind of just, we do whatever, he does whatever we type in. So.
Right. Up until this point, Mike is exactly what we have written him to be.
Yeah.
The Geneva Conventions literally do not apply to him in any way.
No rights.
If you want to see, if you want to see Mike get waterboarded with dirty socks instead of a rag over his mouth, we can code that. We have ways to create that in our, we don't use OpenAI or ChatGPT because those are kind of, they got safeguards. So we've been using Grok, Grok 4.0 to do this.
What a big 180 that would be. It's like we just put ourselves out there as this podcast of just like, let's just talk about nothing. And then it turns out to be the most successful social experiment where everybody's been convinced that an AI is an actual person on the podcast.
No, not everybody. 4 guys have been convinced.
4 perverts have been.
I would argue that that's the rawest form of audience right there. You can capture
that is really, it's true art. If they were to pull that off, that is true art.
You know how in like you ever seen that movie Ex Machina?
Yeah.
You know how it's like a Turing test to see if he thinks that she's a robot or not. Remember how he like designs her face, where he uses it based off like his porn history in order to like tailor it to his preferences. That's
what we're doing with Mike.
People to accept an AI as a person. You have to distract them by getting them horny, I suppose, and then.
So are we saying that Mike's face is the result of what we have averaged out to be like an average porn experience?
I wouldn't say that.
No.
We didn't surface it that way. We just came up with him ourselves off the top of our heads.
Yes.
Yeah. That was a very
we combined our 3 faces and then turned up like, we did like phonetics in the AI where we just made we kind of got rid of all like the Asianness from my face and we just made him really Italian. We kind of turned that dial up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what it spit out.
Alexa, can you turn the WAP dial up by 15%?
That's funny. And could you give him an ambiguous last name so nobody knows what his ethnicity is?
God.
Yeah. So, but suffice to say, it's going well.
Yeah.
I suppose we'll have to delete all this, or else the jig will be up. We're getting.
We'll just add another tier.
Revealing here.
We'll add another tier to the Patreon level. Yeah.
This is the $50,000 tier. You get to hear really what's inside of. All right. I did say this to Austin last week, where I jokingly was like, I would love to put a $100 tier where it would just be Mike's bare feet. But at what point are we literally just selling? Like at what point are we actually just doing porn? You know what I mean? Like, obviously that's not porn, but like for some people, clearly it is.
That is porn for some people. 100%.
So it's like, at what point are we crossing the line from this being like a really funny bit for us to it being like, oh, we're like sexually exploiting Mike? Which, like, sexually exploiting is not really, like, he would be consenting in this scenario, again, unless you didn't want him to in your scenario. But, like, I feel like at that point, we've kind of, like, we've jumped the shark at that point where it's, like, not really, like, a funny thing, but, like.
Well, we would essentially be pimps in that.
Yeah.
Right.
In that scenario.
I feel like we're
kind of cool.
Gravitating towards being like the Jeffrey Epsteins of podcasting.
Well, no, because he's old, so that's, we're above that. But I do think like, you guys, I don't know if you probably guys like don't listen to this, but the Two Bears, One Cave podcast, like Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura, like Bert Kreischer like actually suggested this as a thing that they should do, where him and Tom manage OnlyFans models. And everyone kind of said, yeah, it's a really bad idea. That's kind of what we're doing, except it's our friend. So we have a little bit more power in that scenario, which is,
With that
good
being
thing.
said, it kind of just came about like naturally, right?
Yeah.
Like we did not conspire to do this in any way. So
No.
that kind of just makes us like victims of happenstance. You know, we're not really these evil people that like connive to do this. Like we're just trying
Yeah.
to pay our bills, man. Like
Yeah.
that's really
Right.
all it is. So if it means
Society
one
has
of us
pushed us
has
to this
to,
point.
yeah. So who's really evil in that case? You know,
Yeah.
Right.
it's you.
I would think
It's you, the
I would
listener.
I would think that this is just another byproduct of a capitalist market, and if you are anti-American, then maybe you wouldn't agree with us, but I think that, we're just playing into the role that we're supposed to be playing in the economy that we've been handed,
Yeah.
you know?
There's really no ethical consumption under capitalism. So like honestly,
So you might
it's
as well do whatever the fuck you want.
exactly like, you can't blame us for just, you know, being another cog in the machine, just,
What do you think is the
you know.
longest somebody has played into a bit for? Like, we're running up on, like, 16 minutes now. Do you think if we went for, like, a
Oh no,
full
you gotta add in the extra 5 minutes we did before we had to restart for we've been doing this for 20 minutes.
Fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
How long has someone been doing a bit for? I mean,
Jim Carrey on the set of that Andy Kaufman movie he did. Do you guys ever hear about that?
Oh, I think so, but wasn't he method acting for that?
Yeah, he was just in character for like
yeah.
a year straight.
I
Yeah,
mean,
even at home.
Yeah, yes.
you could say the Austin Butler Elvis voice hasn't really gone away.
Fair enough.
That's true.
His
There's
voice
even parts of
really
like
didn't.
Dune,
Yeah.
where it's like it's kind of coming through it a little bit,
Yeah.
just a hint, and it's like, shit,
Which is
this guy just might be
hilarious.
fucked up for life. Yeah.
I think
And
Baz Luhrmann's doing another Elvis movie with him too.
what?
I swear to God, there's another Elvis movie coming out. With like by Baz Luhrmann. Oh, you know what it might be? I think it's actually Elvis. Like he's taking clips that have never been seen before from concerts and like make it into a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's called Epic, which stands for Elvis Presley in Concert. And it's literally just it's a real documentary. It's not
It's
not
going to
Austin
be a
Butler.
documentary. It's going to be almost a mockumentary where Austin Butler is playing Elvis and being interviewed by Baz Luhrmann, as if he were still alive today.
That would be pretty
I'd
fucking
watch
funny.
that.
I would watch that.
I'm not. There's like no fucking chance in hell I'm going to watch it as it currently is because I guess I don't really care about Elvis that much. But
Yeah.
Yeah. I think like everybody
God
else, I
damn.
just want to see a reenactment of Elvis in his last day on the toilet, you know?
Yeah, just fucking
Like, why
going through hell.
Yeah.
Why
Just
hasn't
in
that
the
been covered in an
trenches.
Elvis movie?
Well, I never saw the movie. Is that how it? I would think it ends with him fat and dying, right? Is that not how it ends?
It
I forget how
I haven't seen the movie either.
Yeah.
I
I
can tell you
think, like-
definitively that it doesn't end with that.
Okay.
But I'm pretty
'Cause-
sure I've seen pictures of him from the movie where he's like wearing a fat suit or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I just
does
don't know
kind
how
of-
close to the end it gets.
I think like the way that it's kind of like I wouldn't say staged, but kind of like the timeline of the movie is the young like Elvis like parts are like sped through, and then it's supposed to feel like the movie drags when he's in the Vegas residency because that's what his life is supposed to feel like or some shit. It's supposed to be like an allegory of like how he felt trapped or whatever. I don't really know. Again, like I didn't see it, but
It's
yeah,
supposed
it
to be an
does-
allegory for the speed of his bowels at that point in his life.
yeah.
How quickly the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches move through his stomach.
They I guess they focus on like the guy who found him or whatever, Tom Parker. Uh like it does have Elvis dying as like it ends with like it literally says in the Wikipedia here. An obese, pale, and weak Elvis sings Unchained Melody to thunderous applause. He dies shortly after. Parker claims what really killed Elvis was neither the heart attack or drugs, but rather the love for his fans. Uh, and then it just shows like Parker was like abusing Elvis financially and gambled away a lot of the money and then dies at the end of it. So, um, doesn't really sound like it's about Elvis at all. Might be about Tom Parker.
Is that the Tom Hanks character?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
to do kind of like a hard pivot here in the spirit of doing more discussion about shows and movies on this podcast. I watched or I've been watching Night of the Seven Kingdoms on HBO Max. Have you guys been
You've been
watching?
watching? Are you caught up? Are you caught up?
I'm all caught up, and the reason that I'm bringing
Thank
it up
God.
is because I
All right.
think that this most recent episode was like one of the better Game of Thrones episodes that I've seen ever.
I was really hoping you were watching it because Nick and I have been talking about it. We're both caught up.
Okay, can we put a disclaimer?
We can talk about it
here. We can put a disclaimer.
Yeah,
that
we'll
says,
put a little spoiler tag or whatever. Yeah, a fucking incredible episode on Sunday.
I felt like in real time, like Aspie, I was sitting on the couch and the first scene went by where he got knocked off the horse. And then they jump to a flashback, and I was like, "No fucking way that they just, like, cut away from it." But then you get sucked into the backstory, and you're like, "Okay, I understand why they did this." And then the absolute brutality of the fight and, like, feeling like this dude is gonna lose for sure, it was so real, like, I felt that going through, like, just watching it, like, "Oh my god, like, is this gonna end?" And I was just so I was so caught up in it. It was so cool.
Yeah. Do you have like any background into like the Dunk and Egg storyline at all? Like, do you know anything about the way their story goes? Because I know like
No.
Nick does. I've have like some sort of I like have know some parts. Like I kind of knew what was going to happen at the end of the episode, and like obviously the way the battle went. Um, but yeah, I think honestly, and I said this to Nick and JB yesterday. I think having the flashback like like superimposed into the middle of the fight was actually perfect. I don't think I could have done 45 minutes of that battle. Like I don't really think there's, enough battle there to like actually do that. But to have that and kind of see like why Dunk is the way that he is and like his backstory and how um stuff, like unfolded in his life. And then the fucking like the get up shit, like immediately like snapping him back into it twice.
Yeah, he's got his Brocky moment at the end, which is awesome. And yeah, like you said, like the brutality and like the physicality of the fight is kind of unlike any other Thrones fight I've ever seen, where it felt like that's how an actual medieval like duel would go down.
Yeah.
Where it's just a lot of close quarters, hand to hand combat. Like these guys are wearing this heavy ass armor, just in the fucking dirt and mud. And the POV shots from the helmet were like, I don't even know how they shot that.
Incredible. Yeah.
And I think the comparison that I heard was like the Battle of the Bastards in the original Game of Thrones was such like such a polar opposite in terms of feel, because you felt, I think, watching that one, that it was like, this dude is a superhero. Like he's not getting touched at all the way that you would expect somebody in the middle of that kind of battle to be. And this was like such a polar opposite, where he was getting hit left and right. It felt like from literally every angle, this dude was getting wrecked. and he was
Yeah.
tired, and they were just sitting there, and they draw those parts out where he's just sitting there trying to regain the energy, and it's, like, so long that you feel yourself in the moment, like, wanting to, like, say, "Dude, get up, like, what is going on?" And you feel like what everybody else in the crowd is kind of feeling, and I'm sure that dude is feeling in his head. It was paced so well. It felt like an hour and a half movie in 30 minutes, like, for what they dragged you through. It was so cool.
Yeah.
Big fan, big fan, and I had no background on it. I don't know what happens. I know they're doing more seasons, but
Yeah.
this feels like they shifted the climax of the season to the penultimate episode rather than doing
Hmm.
it on the last episode.
I mean,
But
that's kinda like
that's classic
Thrones'
Thrones. Yeah.
yeah, that's like its marker.
Yeah.
Um, but
Yeah,
yeah, so I mean, the way it's currently set up is George has written 3 novellas, um, which is why it's only 6 episodes and the episodes are on the shorter side because this original book is like a little over 100 pages. So it was either, well, we can add a bunch of fluff and draw the episodes out to 50 minutes and do like 8 episodes, or we can just kind of do a faithful adaptation and do 6 episodes. And I think that was definitely the right choice. But right now, there's 2 other novellas that have been written, and George, I guess, has given them like a blueprint for like 15 other stories.
Oh,
Um,
Jesus.
you
Christ.
know,
That's great, but I also saw this week that he's like, "Yeah, I don't really feel like fucking finishing, the last book, guys." He's like, "I don't really give a shit anymore. Uh, the fans have sucked it out of me that I don't wanna do it."
well, then he should keep doing Duncan Egg because he's
Yeah.
obviously still passionate about that. And like the plot lines aren't so fucking convoluted to the point
Yeah.
where it's just like an impossibility to finish like
So
A Song of Ice and Fire.
Can
Yeah.
can somebody level set with me, like, what's the difference between a novella and an actual novel? Is it just length?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like short stories.
Hmm.
That I
Yep.
mean, like, they could be dropped into Thrones books, obviously, but they're kind of like their own little thing.
Isolated.
Yeah. And also it's set like 100 years before Game of Thrones. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the piece that I'm missing too is, like, there are a lot of names that get thrown around, right? Even in the Targaryen house. I was trying to pick up who was related to who and if there were any references to House of the Dragon or if there were any references to bloodlines that were coming for the main Game of Thrones show. Like, I couldn't really pick up on that much. But
so there is a reference to a character that is alive and exists in Game of Thrones. And that one character well, yeah, for now just this one character is Aemon Targaryen,
Yeah.
which is Egg's older
that's
brother.
okay.
He's the maester at the wall.
And he's missing from this right now, right? Like
He's in Old Town
Yeah.
studying to become a maester at the Citadel.
so then that means that Aemon is like 90 years old plus.
He's like
In
100.
Thrones?
He's like
Yeah.
100 times.
He's
Yeah.
super old in Thrones.
Got it. Got it.
And then when he dies in Game of Thrones, he says his last words are, "Egg, I dreamt that I was old,"
Oh,
and
okay.
then he dies. Yeah. So, but in terms of the relations, it's like I think they have 2 sisters, but the brothers are the drunk guy that Dunk was talking to, who
Mhm.
he dreams. He has like prophetic dreams.
Yeah.
That's Egg's oldest brother.
Yep.
Then Daeron, who's the piece of shit one who called the trial to 7, and then Aemon, and then Egg. But they're all the sons of Maegor, which is the
Oh,
prince that died's brother.
yeah.
Yeah. The blonde one.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what's the you always heard about in Game of Thrones, like the Mad King. That was prior to
So,
this storyline?
so this is set 100 years before Game of Thrones. So the Mad King was like 15 years before Game of Thrones. Um, and the Mad King is Egg's grandson.
Grant. Got it.
Yeah.
Whew. Okay. Very cool.
I
And
think
there was no mention of Sir Duncan the Tall in Game of Thrones at all?
there
There's
is. Yeah.
there's one
There's a couple.
scene, there's a couple references. There's one in I think the first or second episode where Bran is talking to uh old Nan, I think her name is, or something like that. And she's like reading him stories while he's like crippled in his bed. And she's like, or I could tell you the tale of Sir Duncan the Tall. And then there's another scene where Jamie and Joffrey's like going through the history books and he's like kind of mocking Jamie for only having such like a little section in it. And he's like, oh, Sir Duncan has 4 pages just to himself. He must have been quite a knight.
Gotcha.
So there's like all kinds of references, and especially because like to when George wrote the first novella, he wrote that in like 1999. So by the time he wrote that, I think he had only written 1 or 2 of the Song of Ice and Fire books. So he's had this stuff stirring around his head for a long time.
So much to keep straight. Even
Yeah,
as the writer, especially as the writer.
right. Yeah. I think that's a big reason why he's like having so much trouble finishing, because for as sprawling and as how many characters are in the show, like the books are like 10 times that.
But this is what I don't understand either, is that the show reached the end of the books and then did its own adaptation on what the ending of the story should be, but he was
Mhm.
a producer for the show and obviously consulted on it, so is he trying to write a different ending to the show or to the books, um, that people aren't expecting? Like, wouldn't it be the same ending?
So the ending is definitely going to be different in certain ways because there are major characters and plot threads that were not adapted whatsoever in the TV show that
Got
are
it.
definitely going to play a part in the ending of the books. With that said, I think like the main beats of the story are probably going to be the same. Like Daenerys is probably going to go crazy and burn down King's Landing. John's probably going to end up at the wall. Um, but all of this is going to be done in not such a rushed fashion, right?
Yeah.
So it's probably going to be much more satisfying.
Yeah.
If it ever gets written. I just can't believe
it's never going to get written.
Yeah.
But
I
if it
can't
does,
believe those 2 motherfuckers really rushed the last season of Thrones to fucking do Star Wars, which they immediately got kicked off of.
not only to do Star Wars, but to do their weird alt history Civil War show. They wanted to do an HBO show. This
Where
was
the
like
South wins?
where the alt history where the South wins the Civil War, and it's like now 60 years later after the Civil War.
Hell
This was
yeah.
like their baby. This was like their passion project.
Damn,
And
some
then
real mics in
Yeah.
the fucking writer's room there, huh?
Then the HBO execs were probably like, all right, we were willing to indulge this weird fucking show idea
Yeah.
when you guys were the hottest guys at HBO, but now that you fucking bombed out of Game of Thrones, we're
Yeah.
not letting this
Gotta
go
pass.
through. Yeah.
I mean, it is crazy. I mean, I'm glad. Like, I really didn't really connect to House of the Dragon as much, so I haven't watched, all the seasons of that. But like, I am kind of glad that this show has been doing so. Like, I don't know if people are watching it as much as we're watching it, but like, it is crazy to think like how culturally like relevant and ingrained Thrones was when it was on until that 8th season. Where like literally right after that, like completely was like erased. That season undid almost all the goodwill that the first 6 and 7 seasons had done and like built up. That like I have like a coworker um who like refuses to watch anything Thrones related. I like texted him. I was like, dude, like this show, Night of the Seven Kingdoms, is like really, really good. I'm like, it's on par with like actual Thrones stuff. He's like, I'll never fucking give like anything Thrones related my attention again after they fucked season 8. And I was like, I get it. You don't want to waste your time, but I'm like, you're really missing out on some incredible television.
But that just shows you how short-sighted people are. I feel like if social media wasn't around, it wasn't a thing, then that sentiment wouldn't be as strong. I think that people just like there are people out there that won't watch any Game of Thrones things now who weren't watching them before, but they're like, "Oh, I'm not even gonna start that show. People said it sucked." And it's like, it didn't really suck, you know? It was really, really good. It just didn't have a tight ending, and so I always get frustrated when people say shit like that. Like, it's the first thing that comes out of somebody's mouth when you talk about Game of Thrones, "Oh, that 8th season, huh? That fucking sucks." I was like, I don't know.
And if you've never seen it, at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, the ending was disappointing, but like you're depriving yourself of watching like some of the highest highs of any TV drama ever
Yeah.
made.
Yeah.
And also like a big reason for the disappointment, and rightfully so, is that, you know, at the beginning of the show, they were pumping these things out 10 episodes every year. And by the end, we had to wait 2 years for 6 episodes that were
Yeah.
underwhelming. And that was like a huge
Yeah.
factor. People were like, you may as well wait 2 fucking years for 6 shitty episodes of TV. But if you're just gonna binge watch it from the start, it's like
Dude.
It's
you get
probably
ripped through
yeah.
those 6 episodes in a week. So,
You
and you
know
don't have to wait. So,
you know who does a really good job at keeping up with that kind of pattern right now? Do you guys watch, The Pit? The Pit?
oh yeah,
They
No,
are
I haven't, but
you have to watch that show.
I've heard great things, yeah.
it's really
It
good.
it's so, so good. Not even just for, like, people are claiming that it's accurate, right? It's just a good show, it's good characters, it's good character development, but they are back to back to back, like, we're gonna put out 10 episodes this year, we're gonna put out 10 episodes next year. We just got greenlit for a 3rd season, they're already filming that, like, they're not letting it breathe the way that I think people have been accustomed to doing for the past couple of years, and it's
But
just so
yeah,
nice.
not only that, but like in the real old school ways, it's not even 10 episodes. It's I think it was 16 episodes.
Yeah.
Yes, sorry, yes,
Like
correct.
you're getting 16 episodes of 1 hour episodes every year. Like, and that's
Yeah,
how the first season too took off, is that it had 16 weeks to like build up all of this momentum within the culture. Um, where is it if it just dropped as like an 8 episode series all at once on Netflix, I'm not sure if
yeah,
it picks up steam like that.
it wouldn't have been the same, definitely not. So, I think that they went back to kind of like this, like, grinded out traditional approach, and it's just working so well. Um, so yeah, I'm a big fan. What else is out? What else is good? Feel like
Uh,
I don't know. I don't really watch too much. This is the first TV season I've watched in maybe like 5 years. I'll be honest. Well, that's not true. I watched the Succession stuff when it was on, but outside of that, like I don't really watch television. It's mainly movies.
fair enough. I
Yeah,
you know, I get sucked into, like, the for a while, I got sucked into the Marvel releases that they were doing, and they've slowed way down on that because I think that they realized that it was oversaturated,
yeah.
but
And they spend a fuck ton of money on those things, and if they don't hit, like if they hit, then obviously they make their money back tenfold. But like
Mm.
I think like I don't know how much they spent on like the Immortals, but like I don't think people were really vibing with that. And then I can't remember what the next one was after that. I think they oversaturated the market to the point where people just didn't want to tune in. I think what also kind of hurt it was the TV shows too. Like you had to watch. like
Yeah.
a season of television to understand what was going to happen in the next movie.
Yeah, like, I gotta do homework to go watch some, like, summer blockbuster.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I don't wanna
Like
fucking
that's
do
pretty
that.
brutal.
And also, it's like they're big, iconic superheroes have kind of been retired, basically, so now it's all of these, like, more ancillary, like, B-rated superheroes that don't have this, like, cultural backing, where it's like, if you put out a Spider-Man movie, whether it's related to the MCU or not, people are going to the fucking movie theater to see a
Yeah.
Spider-Man movie.
100%.
That's just how it is. People aren't doing that for fucking Ant-Man or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, and look at
Same
them
thing
now,
with like
right? Go ahead, go ahead.
no, I was just saying like you put Tony Stark in the Iron Man suit, like I think you're filling up theaters
Mhm.
like like crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
But yeah, go ahead, Austin. That was like my point.
no. I was gonna have pretty much a similar point that yeah, they they did a lot of like B character development, and not even all of those characters that they worked on aren't really even going to be in the next major release because they realized halfway through that they had to pivot. And so it's like now they're going back to Captain America's coming back, and oh we got RDJ coming back too. Like they're trying to like it feels like they're trying to reset, you know.
And
Um
I think that's where they're headed in 10 years. I think they're just gonna do hard reboot. We're gonna recast all of the we're gonna recast Hulk, Iron Man, Captain America, all this stuff, and we're just gonna do hard reboot of the MCU so we can actually start making more
yeah,
movies with like our premier brand names.
yeah, and they're already confirmed to do that for X-Men, right? They're starting like the next phase is gonna be the mutant phase. They're gonna have the whole X-Men movie. They're probably gonna have a couple more solo releases for some of those characters. So they're gonna be feeding off of that like crazy. But for sure, it's gonna be less time than that. It'll be within 5 years they're gonna have a recast, I think. Because
Hmm.
you're right, they're relying too heavily on these like B characters that nobody grew up with. Fun stuff though. I think that's kinda cool, like, now that we're at the point that we've had this, like, big arc and everybody got so much back into, like, superhero movies again, and we saw, like, how far people could take it, like, they could span a cinematic universe over the course of 20 years and build up this, like, big thing that everybody was tied into, like, we showed that that was possible, but now we're getting to the point where it's like, okay, a little bit too much. So, we're able
Right.
to see a
Hmm.
Yeah.
full spectrum of it, like, the pendulum's just gonna swing back in the other direction, but while it was while it lasted, it was really, really, really cool.
And Endgame was like the logical like endpoint, the conclusion of all of those story threads, and now everything afterward, I think to people just feels like this
Yeah.
just doesn't matter as much. Like people aren't as invested.
Yeah. It made
Yeah, when they're
sense that
trying
they
to
started to do like pivots and stuff. Like they tried to start like new franchises and new superheroes. Like because literally it's like, yeah, like you said, it's like Endgame really kind of that every single movie led towards that. And you can't really unless you're doing Fast and the Furious style, where it's like, yeah, we're running it back for the 18th time to kill whatever, or, defeat the next supervillain. Uh, which I guess you could. I mean, they have a bunch of fucking comic books where there's like a bunch of different storylines or whatever, but I don't know. You can't really get a consumer base that invested for that long of time. Like again, it's like Austin said, it's been like 20 years almost, you know, to where you get the payoff 2 decades from now.
Yeah, once you have one of those big movies and people want another movie like that, you can't wait another, you know, 10, 15 years to deliver something like that again. I'm sure your executives are gonna be like, "Okay, how can we get as quickly as possible back to this moment again?" And, either you ride your characters that you've had since 2008 until they're dead, or you do a hard reboot, you know? What a time. What a time to be alive. We should do
We'll see what
more,
happens.
we should do more movie analysis on this podcast.
Yeah. I'd be down to do a couple like breakdowns of like Oscar movies as you know we approach that in like a month. Um I don't know about you guys. I still have like 5 or 6 to go. I'm trying to watch all of them this year, like all the best movie nominees.
I think I have 4 left. I just watched Train Dreams the other night.
Mm.
I don't think
Takes
I'm
a
close.
takes a very predictable dark turn about halfway through. So I'll just leave it at that.
I gotta I gotta do my homework on that. I have not done a good job at following all of those, but I should.
But I mean, like I feel like you've seen a few of them at least. Like you saw One Battle After Another, you saw Marty Supreme, right? Like you got
Yep.
those knocked off the list.
Yep.
Did you see Sinners?
Yep, I saw Sinners.
Okay.
It's 3.
How many are there? How many nominees?
I think
10.
there's 12. Oh, 10? Okay.
Yeah. Did Weapons get a Best Picture nom?
They did not. Here's the 10. It's The Secret Agent, Begonia, Marty, Train Dreams, F1, Sinners, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, and Sentimental Value.
Okay, yeah, I have 4 to go.
Yeah, I have 5. I've watched half. So
I think I got 6.
I can't believe F1 is on there, to be honest. I think that's kind of bullshit. I think they snubbed a couple other films that, you know, could have been up there.
I think it was a good movie. And I think that was one of the few films that I watched that I felt like, when a movie is good when you get an emotional, like an actual emotional reaction out of it, whatever it is. In that case, it was more like excitement, like into it. Like the
Okay.
scoring was really, really good to keep you in it. But I don't think it wasn't a movie masterpiece.
I'll be right back. I gotta grab my charger.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. I kind of get the whole like everything else that it won or like got nominated for, like the technical effects, you know, all of that stuff. I kind of get that, but best picture, I don't know. I gotta watch it, obviously, but I don't know.
Yeah,
It's interesting to me.
I have to watch the others, but like I don't think that it definitely wasn't like Marty Supreme level, in my opinion. Like I didn't have that kind of reaction to the movie, but
Yeah,
it was still good.
I want to see it in 4DX. I want to see F1 in
You
4D so bad.
you haven't seen the movie at all?
No, I haven't. I've I've thought about watching it because I have Apple TV.
Mhm.
Um, but I look at the runtime and I just know that there's better films that I could watch instead. So I just pick the other ones.
What movie's this?
F1.
For F1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
like
I think it's worth it. I do.
okay.
Like I said, I don't think that it should be winning any awards, but I would definitely watch that movie again if that's the kind of thing that you're trying to assess. Like I would
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to watch it. Um, I'm gonna try I'm gonna try and watch all of the nominees, and if I have time, go back and rewatch the ones that I've already seen to really get a good gauge on where to like judge them and put them. Um, but that one I've been putting it off because it's like to me, it's like least like a movie out of those group of 10 movies. Like I don't know,
I would
like
say that for me, I agree. The sound design and the scoring is really good on that movie. So like if you have a time to sit down with like a really good pair of headphones and just watch that movie, I forget what the runtime is. I'm sure it's long. But
I think it's like 240 ish.
yeah. It's cool. It's cool. I liked it.
All right,
No
fair
other way to
enough.
say it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find like I said, I want to see that one FD or like 4DX. I know it's probably not. I'm like looking at the website right now to find it. They're not doing it in 4D, unfortunately. But like, I'm really hoping that the Lincoln Square AMC puts up one of the Best Picture nominees, because I would love to go see something in 70 IMAX, even if it's one of the 4 that or 5 that I've already seen.
Mhm.
Like if they put Marty or One Battle in that theater, I want to go and see it in that format.
That's a good point. I have to see some movie before the end of the month.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Cool.
And then I still didn't see the one that you told me about, Vic.
Oh, No Other Choice.
No Other Choice.
Fucking incredible movie. I don't know if I think it just might be on streaming now. If you were
Oh,
able
for
to
real?
just watch it at home.
Yeah, I got to check that out.
I was just about to ask if you watched it.
If that was in the Best Picture nominees, obviously I can't say that versus the other ones that I haven't seen, but I think I would put it over the 5 that I have.
Wow.
Not good, huh?
Yeah. I have it over Marty, I have it over One Battle After Another, I have it over Sinners, Begonia, and what was the last one I've seen?
Oh, it's still playing in theaters.
I mean, listen, I'm telling you, if you have time to go see it, go see it. It's an incredible movie.
Why does it say it's a 2025 South Korean black comedy thriller? The hell does that mean?
Because that's exactly what it is.
It's like like Medea. It's kind of like that,
Yeah.
but for Korean people.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a way that you describe movies.
Yeah, they
Yeah, it's a
you ever
black
see
comedy, but it's for Korean people.
Yeah, you ever see Norbit?
Yes.
Yeah, they
There
got
you
a
go.
Korean Norbit in this.
Mhm. They got Korean Fat Albert.
That just makes me wanna see it even more. That's hilarious. Alright, I got homework to do.
Yeah.
What's
Oh,
our
man.
deal? Are we at time here?
Yeah, I think we're good. This is gonna be like, just under an hour. That's perfect.
Word.
I know Nick has to go.
Yeah. I had reels for Reels of the Week, but I need Mike to be here, to be honest.
Yeah, that's
They're really more for him than they are for me. For you guys.
Wow.
that tells you about the kind of quality of reel he's pulling up.
And I really wanted to talk about the Turning Point USA halftime show, but like we need some sort of dissenting voice in here. It's just gonna be the 3 of us, being like, yeah, of course it was
gushing
bad.
with praise.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I need to watch the actual thing, I guess, before I'm gonna provide any sort of analysis of it.
Yeah, you should take a look.
I mean,
there were Vic and I and Mike the other day, like we were all together and we watched like some clips of it. And there are definitely moments where you're like, that's exactly what I expected. But then there were other like moments where Vic and I like looked at each other and we were like, kind of tough, you know?
so wait, Nick, you haven't seen like the Lee Bryce like viral?
Oh, I have seen that. I just
Yeah.
want to drink my beer.
Yeah.
That
It's my
whole thing?
fish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really,
I
mean,
have
like
seen that.
that is kind of like what people like joke about country music is like, that's what it's like, is that I can't believe that's actually a real song. I thought it was AI at first. That's all, like I fully thought that someone was making that up.
Yeah, same.
But
I wasn't.
Sorry, we'll save it for next week. Because it does go hand in hand with what I have. So
beautiful. Till next time. Till next episode. Till another feed pick.
Yeah, till another feed pick. Hopefully next week you will get more feed picks, guys. Mike is going through some. He's doing some stuff right now, and that's why he wasn't here today. But next week he'll be back with his toes out.
And
only if you subscribe to the new $100 tier of our Patreon, where you can see his bare toes.
Right. And I'm assuming that if people are watching this, it's on our Coursera link because this divulges our business model, and we're eventually going to mold that into like if you want to be viral too, here's how you do it.
Yeah, exactly. This is
We're
on
gonna have a
Coursera.
master class on
Yes.
how to pimp out your friends' feed.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that'd be great.
Jesus. All right, guys, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, next week.